All right, and we're live again. Okay, so we got a crazy fight here between Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley. Crazy, crazy fight. Um, so far, both guys have had big moments, and they're going back and forth on some great strikes. Both guys had a significant right hand. Peter Yan using some wrestling and taking O'Malley down. 1 minute left here in the second round. And Peter Yan throwing some real heat here in this fight. Really could be anyone's fight here still. Beautiful takedown off of the cage there from Peter Yan. Puts O'Malley on his back. O'Malley looking to defend with his guard, monitor the wrists, and O'Malley using his length here with his guard. Peter Yan standing up and putting some nice solid pressure on him, and should probably take this round with his grappling pressure on O'Malley. 15 seconds left in this second round here. And really just sort of smothering the hips of O'Malley. And time. That's the end of the second round. Another thing that Peter Yan was doing is he's pressing O'Malley's head against the fence, and that really makes it hard to move. They're showing the significant strikes here from O'Malley in that round, and same with Peter Yan. Really, both guys rocking each other pretty heavily in this round, and Peter Yan using a classic kind of like Osotogari type trip or leg reap, as sometimes it's referred to. And let's see if O'Malley can make something happen here in this third round. All right. O'Malley with a nice kick to the body. O'Malley looking to really utilize his reach. A lot of double and triple jabs. Check out my jab masterclass on YouTube, where it shows how to use the double and triple jab, which you see O'Malley using right now. Peter Yan in, looking to take O'Malley down, in on a single leg. O'Malley defends. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left. And O'Malley throwing a nice 1-2. Peter Yan clinching off that 1-2. Outside leg kick from O'Malley. Jab, double jab, triple jab from O'Malley. Oblique kick from O'Malley. He's sort of taken control with the strikes this round so far, really using his length to his advantage. Peter Yan still trying to close that distance. Looks like Peter Yan has the advantage in the wrestling and the grappling in this fight, and O'Malley has the advantage in the striking, which isn't a huge shock, but usually you see Peter Yan's boxing, even though he does have great wrestling. There, Peter Yan goes in again on a takedown, puts his single leg up on his shoulder, and O'Malley defends. Good defense by O'Malley. Ooh, a nice knee here from O'Malley. This might, it cuts Peter Yan open really big. 3 minutes left. Let's see if O'Malley can capitalize. Oh, big strikes from O'Malley. This might be it. O'Malley is definitely smelling some blood in the water, and really hurt Peter Yan with that knee. A nice 1-2 from O'Malley, and then answered with a nice hook from Peter Yan. Peter Yan's still in this fight, though, shakes off the cobwebs. Oh, a nice head kick from O'Malley and a nice takedown from Peter Yan. This is getting intense here in the third round. Peter Yan is just so tough, where that would have put away lesser opponents. Peter Yan is still deeply into this fight. O'Malley, nice pummeling back for underhooks on this takedown attempt. And O'Malley definitely doesn't want to be kind of pressed up against the fence here, how Peter Yan has him. O'Malley looking for a guillotine and sits for the guillotine, and Peter Yan slips out and ends up on top of the fight. A mistake that has cost a ton of MMA fighters fights before. Looks like O'Malley sort of makes the same mistake here, looking for a Kimura trap on the far arm here for Peter Yan. And O'Malley's looking to heist up, but in the process gives his back. 90 seconds left here in this fight. And they separate from the clinch. A minute 19 left. What can O'Malley do here with his strikes in the standing position? Definitely a war for both fighters. O'Malley looks tired. Peter Yan with the crazy haymaker. 1 minute left here. O'Malley gets pressed up against the fence. O'Malley, Granby rolls out. Beautiful way to make space there from O'Malley. And really sort of kind of taking control here with his striking. Really cut the eye open badly on Peter Yan. 30 seconds left in this fight. And Peter Yan with his classic Osotogari takedown there. Beautiful stuff. Triangle attempt for O'Malley, defended by Peter Yan. 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. What a fight. Peter Yan raises his hands in victory, but of course we don't know. But a really toughly contested bout, and showing that O'Malley does deserve to be in the very top of the bantamweight division. They're showing that knee right there, which was a major part of the fight here for O'Malley, and it cut Peter Yan open above the eye really badly. Oh, they're showing a nice hook from Peter Yan as well. Yeah, this one could go either way. Both guys had great moments in the fight. Looked to me like Sean O'Malley um, kind of controlled the fight more. Both guys like sitting exhausted on the stool with their head down. Definitely a wild and difficult match. Significant strike for Peter Yan.
29-28 for the winner by split decision, Sugar
Live on stream. As you probably heard in the background there, Sugar Sean wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, when you walked to the center of the octagon, did you think you had done enough to win the fight?
Looks like, is there a stream link? I wish MFS fada. But it looks like Sean O'Malley won by a very thin margin, won the split decision, and that should put him up near title contention and shows that he's really got the skills to compete with the best guys in the bantamweight division. So good for him. But still a hard fought victory, and it wasn't like he breezed through him like you saw sometimes with Sean O'Malley's other opponents. So good stuff there, and I'm excited for the next one with TJ Dillashaw versus Aljamain Sterling. It should be interesting to see if Aljamain Sterling can do the backpack strategy where he gets on the guy's back and holds him there for this fight. A lot of guys are saying that TJ Dillashaw shouldn't ever be allowed to fight again because he was caught using PEDs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's kind of a tricky one because I believe a lot of the fighters in the UFC are on steroids. I have been in the fighting community for many years, and steroid use is a huge part of the sport. And people like demonize a lot of times TJ Dillashaw for using I guess you can't say that he used steroids. What he got caught for was EPO, which is something that helps your endurance increase, which is something that Lance Armstrong and a lot of those bikers were also caught for using as well. But I've been around fighters for many years, and the steroid and PED usage is definitely out of control. So it's hard to say, if TJ Dillashaw should be demonized for his steroid usage if everyone else is using PEDs as well. So it does get a little bit funky where you're not like using steroids to do the Barry Bonds thing and like hit extra home runs. You're literally trying to bash other people's brains in, and using performance enhancing drugs when you're doing that becomes a major issue. They're showing Tai Tuivasa in the crowd doing a shoey, which is where you put beer into a shoe and you drink out of the shoe. Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw up next. I mean, if you look at Aljamain Sterling's physique, even though he's never been caught, it looks like Aljamain Sterling is on something as well, So it's hard to say. They're showing TJ Dillashaw getting warm in the back room, and Aljamain Sterling doing some shadow boxing in the back room before their next fight as well. Should be an interesting one. I sort of viewed TJ as more of a wrestling heavy style. Oh, Tolly Rollins, yo great commentary, bro. Thank you so much, Tolly. I really appreciate it. Thanks for contributing to the stream. Feel free to comment on anything that you see in the fight. Islam matches, UFC matches. Have a good workout, Dad. I love you. My dad just heading out to the gym. I love him a lot, and I'm proud of him that he's going to the gym. But he gets shy about being in the stream, so he doesn't want to to be in the stream. But yeah, should be an interesting one with TJ Dillashaw. As I was saying, his striking has improved a lot, and he's known for being a great striker as well. Azan, hey Ryan. Azan says that was a robbery, hands down. Azan, I think you are. You've been here in my stream before. I think you've coming back, and I think if I remember correctly, you are from one of those crazy Russian countries, and you are definitely for the Russian fighters like a Peter Yan. Prudy, yes, you're right. Yes, Azan, welcome back. Welcome back. You, Azan, thank you so much for coming. And he goes, "No, I'm from India. My bad, Azan. Thank you so much for coming back, and I appreciate so much you continuing to watch my commentary. That's great." But Azan always likes the guys that are from Russia and stuff. Um, Azan, what did you think of the Mateus Gamrot versus Benil Dariush fight? Did you think that that was a robbery as well? Please let me know. A couple people are asking, where are you watching? How can I watch the matches? If you can publish them, thank you very much. I wish even if I put the sound on, I will get copyrighted on these fights, and I can't do so. So my apologies on that. But I wish you the best in being able to watch the UFC fights, guys. Azan says, nah, Benil won it, and it was a high IQ fight. I agree, Azan. Benil Dariush is a very high IQ type fighter, and I'd say that that is his biggest strength. Azan, did you see the Bilal Muhammad fight where he gave Sean Brady his first loss? Another guy who I believe his biggest strength is his fight IQ. Um, so good stuff there from these guys. You know, it's interesting. A lot of these um, like Russian fighters or fighters from this side of the world have like an audience here in Abu Dhabi, and it's really become like a main kind of center for fighters from that part of the world. You know, and it's crazy. It's so far across the world, and fighting really has turned into a completely international sport. Prudhi v. Busa Sugar Herda Brita says, at what time Islam fight starts? Well, Azan says Ryan bet on all the underdogs today. There's still time left. I don't bet on these fights, even though a lot of times my friends ask me who is going to win, and I have like an 80% rate that I guess it right. Prudy, I'm getting back to your question. My bad. So it's really hard to predict when the actual fights are. And I also don't know what your time zone is. So here it's 3:57 p.m. And generally they try to keep these fights to about a half an hour each. Especially these like title fights, they're 25 minutes. So they are 5 rounders. So it's almost 4 o'clock here. And my prediction is that from 4 to 4:30, the Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw fight will happen. And then from the 4:30 to 5 o'clock time slot will be the Islam Makhachev versus versus Charles Oliveira fight. Liberal conservative says waiting for Islam to lose. Yeah, I mean, this could be a really, really interesting fight. This one really could go either way. It's a really compelling matchup because Islam's wrestling might be like unparalleled with anyone fighting in the UFC. He's also like a really, really smart fighter. You see Charles Oliveira is so good in the standing position and with his jiu-jitsu on the ground. So you got the guy who's like really a master of this middle game, and then you got the guy who's really like a master of the two tail ends of the striking and grappling game. So it's an interesting matchup for sure. Really compelling. Prudy says, "Okay, liberal, go sleep." My prediction, I got Charles Oliveira in this fight. Looks like there's some guy spamming in the comments to watch UFC 280 live free VPN. I don't know. Click that at your own risk. Kind of crazy that that's showing up in the stream. Azan says, here in India, I used to wake up at 8 a.m. to watch these pay-per-views, but today it's 1:30 a.m. here. They change the timings of fights when they're in Abu Dhabi. Yes, Azan. A lot of times when it's in Abu Dhabi, the fight is in a crazy time here in America. So, and I'm in Florida with the Eastern Standard Time. So, it's 2 p.m. here that the main card starts, and now the exact time is 4 p.m. Azan Parfez says, "How is your recovering going?" Well, thank you so much, Azan. Actually, I had just gone to the doctors yesterday, and I actually got some bad news. I'm recovering from some hip surgeries that I had, and I had a bone overgrowth issue in my hip, and I'm 6 months out from the surgery on my left. Pretty intensive surgery where they reshape the whole bone structure in your leg. And I had the same surgery done almost 2 years ago on the right. But via some x rays, I got done at the doctor's tomorrow. The bone issue is sort of regrowing back on the right leg. So I might need to get surgery again on that right side. And really kind of upsetting and unfortunate as I've been sidelined almost 3 years with this crazy bone hip issue. So, Azan, thank you for checking in. And I wish I had some good news to report, but unfortunately, that is what's going on with my recovering. My left hip feels really good, and Prudy says, "Wish you a speedy recovery, brother." Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, Prude Heavy. But thank you so much for those kind words. And I'm just going to do everything I can to try to get better, looking into some stem cell therapies and things of that nature. But it's just frustrating to have this crazy bone overgrowth issue sort of rear its ugly head again and resurface. Anyway, this stream's not about me. The stream is about this UFC fight. I've been in the martial arts field my whole life. I've made most of my living from martial arts. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. I have some instructionals down in the description on my videos. I might not have put it in the description of this video, but it's in the description of every other one of my videos. And, I sell martial arts instructionals online. I have many students, and I teach martial arts. And this YouTube channel is about bringing high quality martial arts content to my viewers. So if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it, as I'm trying to get this up to income generating stream itself. Anyway, we got Aljamain Sterling here is walking out, and he is about to fight TJ Dillashaw. Should be a interesting fight. You see the classic Ray Longo in the cage. Great fighter and great coach. You see, man, I'm having trouble remembering these guys' names. What's his name? I forget. I'm gonna look it up. Al Iaquinta. Al Iaquinta. He's from the Ray Longo camp, and he's a legendary fighter as well. If you guys want to see something entertaining, Al Iaquinta is getting booed at the end of one of his fights, and he starts yelling at the audience with the mic, and then they start booing him even louder, and it's pretty funny to watch. Azan says, so now tell me honestly, was that not a robbery? I mean, I was having trouble with my stream a little bit, so I didn't get to see every second of the fight. I'd like to watch it again, but if you're referring to the Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan card, I mean, from what I saw in the second and third round, I saw Sean O'Malley sort of being in charge of that fight more so than Peter Yan. So I'm gonna respectfully disagree. All right, we got the tail of the tape here. Aljamain Sterling 33, TJ Dillashaw 36. Aljamain Sterling 5'7", TJ Dillashaw 5'6.5". Both weighing in at 135. Aljamain Sterling a 71-inch reach, and TJ Dillashaw a 67-inch reach. Bruce Buffer out here in his green tuxedo, looking stylish. Man, I'm so let's shake hands and agree that should have been at least a draw. I'll give you that it was a close fight, Azan, that it could have gone either way. I'll give that to you, but I do think that Sean O'Malley won on that fight. But I'll shake on that if you want to shake on that. And thank you so much again for coming back and watching my commentary here. Aljamain Sterling about to fight with TJ Dillashaw. We're just doing the Bruce Buffer classic introduction right now. Alex BT says, who win? Well, we got in the Caitlin Chukagian fight, Caitlin lost. I forget the French chick's name who won, but Caitlin lost. We got Beneil Dariush won the next one, and then Sean O'Malley won the last one. Azan says, what do you think if Oliveira wins today? Will he be the lightweight GOAT? Well, that's an interesting question. Whenever people talk about the GOAT talk, it's a really difficult conversation. The GOAT, are you basing the GOAT on who was the greatest fighter, who had the best record, who had the most dominant performance? And it's a tricky kind of thought process on what do you consider, like how heavily do you rank those things in the conversation for the GOAT? Like, for example, I thought Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez, that was like an extremely dominant, flawless performance, and it's hard to get a better performance than that for him to win the lightweight title, but he didn't defend it. But Khabib was just so dominant and completely undefeated and retired at 29-0. Then do you give him the GOAT status for the lightweight? Do you give BJ Penn? Anyway, first round beginning here. Very intense start to this first round. Both fighters coming out guns blazing. Both guys really coming to the center of the octagon and starting to fight, throwing some heavy leg kicks and some straight punches right down the middle. TJ Dillashaw throws a kick, it gets caught, and Aljamain Sterling catches it and looks for the grappling here, already on top in a half guard type situation. Really great work there from Aljamain Sterling, and it's wild to see. Something looks like it's happened to TJ Dillashaw. Looks like he might be injured here in the fight. He looks like he's trying to recover, but looks like bad news for TJ Dillashaw. Aljamain Sterling progresses to the mount here. 4 minutes left here in this first round. A really bad start for TJ Dillashaw, and the way Aljamain Sterling is mounted is really really bad because he's completely TJ Dillashaw's hips in this mount. And it looks like he gets this gift wrap position where you wrap the arm around the body, and this puts Aljamain Sterling behind the elbow of his opponent, which means the elbow of your opponent, you are technically on their back. And Aljamain Sterling raining some heavy punches down in this position. Terrible spot for TJ Dillashaw. This fight is going to be close to being stopped here. And again, like this mount where Aljamain Sterling has, where his legs are crossed underneath the hips, it takes away the bridging power and takes away the ability to really elbow escape. And it only results in you being able to turn your back, which is what you see here. And Aljamain Sterling deep on a rear naked choke here early in this first round. A terrible place for TJ Dillashaw to be, and a great place for Aljamain Sterling. I wonder, too, if TJ Dillashaw is really injured here, how that will play as a factor in the rest of this fight. But Aljamain Sterling on a rear naked choke here. TJ Dillashaw looking to press the elbow up above his head. And that's a classic kind of defense to what Aljamain was doing. And TJ scrambles, and Aljamain kind of loses his hooks here and looks to regain back position. Great stuff here for Aljamain Sterling. Wow, very dominant in the grappling, and is making a strong case for TJ not deserving to even be in this fight with him. A lot of people were saying, does Aljamain Sterling really deserve to be champion of this division? But he's really taken charge on this fight and really is just dominating TJ Dillashaw ruthlessly in this matchup. And it's really cool to see Aljamain Sterling's understanding of like the body triangle and the control of like the hip line and right above the hip line. Just like how a seatbelt holds you in a car. Um, and there's that belt like right above your seat, and it's specifically designed that way to really hold you in place in the case of an accident. That's something that could be taken advantage of by fighters, and you see Aljamain Sterling taking advantage of this, really laying down some vicious ground and pound here on TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw back up to his feet miraculously here, amazingly. And Aljamain Sterling looking to grapple and clinch once again, throws a couple head kicks. And I wonder if TJ Dillashaw's knee is all right. He doesn't seem to be having his patented great TJ Dillashaw movement here. Aljamain Sterling in on another takedown. Really impressive stuff there from Aljamain Sterling. 20 seconds left in this first round. Gets another beautiful takedown. Controls around the hips. and is looking to put TJ Dillashaw down on his back, which he does. 5 seconds left here in this first round. 3, 2, 1, and time. Wow. If you could make a case for a 10-8 round, that was about the strongest case that you could make. Just an absolutely dominant round for Aljamain Sterling, and it looks like TJ Dillashaw is telling his coaches something. Also, Dillashaw is just coming off of some type of surgery, so to be like re-injured and not trust your own body after the surgery is a very difficult place for a fighter to be mentally and physically in this fight, and I think that's right where TJ Dillashaw is. They're showing the kick that Aljamain Sterling caught and how he's using it to take this fight to the ground. Also, you see Aljamain Sterling really looks more physically imposing, and he appears to be in better shape than everybody in this division as well. Alex BT says, "What about Islam?" I'm not sure. The Islam fight is next, and it should be a great match. Round 2 here with Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw. Let's see if some different results can happen. TJ Dillashaw is known for being able to come back and come out as a completely different fighter in other rounds. And let's see if he could do that here against Aljamain Sterling. Definitely using more boxing and keeping it more as a standing type battle here. 30 seconds has elapsed in the second round. TJ Dillashaw finding his jab, and Aljamain Sterling back in on a takedown. Beautiful stuff, gets TJ Dillashaw down. And excellent punch to the face there from Aljamain Sterling. And you're really seeing the expertise and grappling prowess here of Sterling, really using excellent wrestling and jiu-jitsu in combination. And how he's able to flatten TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw in the half guard here, and one of the things that you really don't want in the half guard is to have your hips flat on the mat. You want to have your hips on the side. This way you can defend, frame, and be like halfway to your opponent's back. But the way that Aljamain Sterling has this half guard position is really dominant for him as he works up to the side control now for this position. TJ Dillashaw was looking to stand up from this side control, and Aljamain Sterling goes back into the half guard to keep TJ Dillashaw down on the floor. TJ Dillashaw looking to come back up on an underhook and turn his hips, and Aljamain Sterling switching sides for his half guard. Great stuff. Great ground and pound here from Aljamain Sterling, and another dominating display of grappling from Aljamain Sterling here in on an anaconda choke. Great stuff here from Aljamain Sterling. It's kind of, TJ Dillashaw escapes. The lock looked like it was going to break open. TJ Dillashaw adjusting something on his wrist and his glove. Again, I wonder if there's some sort of injury somewhere on Dillashaw. He has this sort of look of frustration, and it appears to be beyond what Aljamain Sterling is doing to him. But beautiful stuff here. Aljamain Sterling really smushing TJ Dillashaw. 2 minutes 11 seconds left in this second round here of a possible 5. And you're really seeing excellent half guard passing from Sterling. He has TJ Dillashaw pinned up against the fence here and completely flattened out with TJ's head up against the fence, sort of like how my head is against this pillow. Aljamain Sterling looking to take the back and do that patented hip control. Now he has the mount and is punching him ruthlessly in the face from the mount. TJ turns his back, a place that he definitely doesn't want to be, and extremely dominant here for Sterling. And they might stop it right here. And that's it. Ground and pound victory for Aljamain Sterling against TJ Dillashaw. Extremely, extremely dominant display and extremely impressive victory for Aljamain Sterling there. To do that to TJ Dillashaw really makes a statement. And wow, really, really impressive stuff. I've never seen anyone do that to TJ Dillashaw. And really shows the skill and the prowess of Aljamain Sterling. Incredible, incredible. All right, I've been drinking water like crazy, so I'm gonna take a piss, and I will be right back. All right, and we're back. Whew. Again, a really impressive victory there for Aljamain Sterling, and I've never seen anyone do that to TJ Dillashaw. XYZ says best adult dating site. I doubt it. If any of you guys have tried online dating, let me know how it went in the comments. I had tried it once or twice, and it never ended up working out well for me. Aljamain Sterling getting interviewed by DC now, and now we just got Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Is it Makhachev or is it Makhachev? Let me know. They're showing some great replays in this fight. UFCTVnow.com is spamming the comment section. Thank you so much for that, UFC TV. All right. And it's going to be some time before Islam versus Charles Oliveira, but it should be a good one.
I love decorating for the holidays, and we have so many great new pieces. It's part of our collection with Target. We have a new garland.
Someone I don't recognize just sent me this ridiculous,
It just kind of hangs really, really gracefully. Our
like,
three new stockings I styled with this deep red.
I don't even know what you describe this as, like home improvement ridiculous channel. Wonder what that's about. Looks like the guy's a judo black belt sending me some home improvement stuff. Surprising. Please throw some stuff in the comments, guys, because they're going to milk this Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira situation for the next 15 minutes, probably. Right now, DC is interviewing TJ Dillashaw. Let me know what they're saying. I don't know. And if I put the sound on, this video gets copyrighted. Mm. Good news, everybody. I had a raspberry seed in my tooth, stuck here for hours, hours, and it finally came out. I'm pretty much my whole day is made because of that. Oh, freedom. If you've ever had something stuck in your teeth like that and then you get it out, you know what I'm talking about. It feels so good. It's one thing to lose a fight by, a guy got a crazy strike, he hits you in the head or whatever. A kick. Um, and you could claim, okay, well, that was just luck or whatever. But to lose the way that TJ Dillashaw lost to Aljamain Sterling, there's no question about that. He got taken down over and over and over again. And he got his guard passed over and over and over again. And he got beat up from dominant positions over and over and over again. And man, that is a rough, rough place to be in. If you guys want, check out on my channel. I have some great stuff on. Azan says props to TJ. Yeah, TJ definitely is like a legendary fighter, and he definitely gets a lot of flack for the steroid accusations. But I mean, look at Aljamain Sterling. He's not on any PEDs himself. I don't know, sort of suspicious there. Azan, what did TJ say in his post-fight interview? I can't play the sound. They got Steven Seagal out there. That's funny. They got Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski was the fill-in for this fight. He made weight at 155 pounds in case Islam or Charles Oliveira couldn't make weight or make the fight. They had Volkanovski there on backup. And they're trying to do a crazy kind of situation like with Conor McGregor, where Volkanovski's going to try to come up and challenge the 155-pound champion. So we shall see what happens there as well. The winner of this fight might fight Volkanovski next. And it should be interesting to see how Volkanovski does at 155 pounds, because he's been so dominant at 145 and is ranked number 1 in the pound for pound rankings. So it should be curious to see how he does at 155, because he looks basically unstoppable at 145. But, Islam and Charles Oliveira are just such high caliber fighters that they're showing an ad for the Power Slap League. Unbelievable. Dana White recently bought this this slap league competition, and they're doing an ad for it right before the main Charles versus Islam fight. Power Slap. Unbelievable. Is there a my dad and I were watching it yesterday. Is there something that you can get brain damage for that's worse than professional slap fighting? I don't think so. I don't think there is a thing to get CTE that is less important. All right. They're showing the DraftKings odds here for Charles Oliveira. Looks like Oliveira is the underdog. All right, they're playing the promo for Charles versus Islam. Oh yeah, by the way, what I was saying is on my channel, I have a great section on like how to do modern day ground and pound in the UFC and in other MMA organizations. So a lot of it is you really need to control the person with your legs so that your arms are free for the ground and pound. So you see situations like the mount in the back where you're using your legs to primarily control your opponent. Much easier for dominant ground and pound, just like you saw with Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw. But you have positions like side control where the very nature of side control is you're holding them down with your arms. Like when was the last time you saw a ground and pound victory from side control? It's very rare because you need to transfer the control to your legs. And you see this like a lot of times in Sambo and in Khabib's camp and in a lot of um, different camps that are really good at ground and pound, this idea of controlling with the legs. For example, when Khabib does his famous like tie up both legs, which we might see in this fight with Makhachev, then you can start to hit with your hands. And if you could modify your side control, which there are multiple ways to do this, which I show on my channel, to a leg-based pin, then you have your hands free to strike, and it's really important to be able to do that. Liberal conservative. I would love to show the fight, but unfortunately, I can't. I will get copyrighted, and I'll get my YouTube channel shut down. And I'm not trying to have that happen. But I wish you the best, liberal conservative, in trying to find the fight, and I will be giving you the play-by-play action, just like how you used to listen to baseball games and stuff on the radio. We're doing it in the modern day here on YouTube. My apologies, liberal conservative, but I wish you all the best in being able to find and stream and watch this fight. Can you try to beatbox? Okay. What'd you think? Liberal conservative, if you're not subscribed already, I think that that is deserving of a subscription. In fact, thank you. Thank you, liberal conservative. In fact, in high school, I used to do ridiculous beatboxing where I would beatbox curse words into my beatboxing and I would beatbox them to the teachers. Throw me a subscribe liberal conservative, and I'll do it for you right here live on the stream. Let me know when you did it, liberal conservative, and I'll beatbox the curse words. All right, he did it. I used to go, bitch, pussy, cunt, bitch, pussy, cunts, bitch, pussy, cunts, bitch, pussy, cunts, bitch, pussy, cunts. And I used to beatbox like that to my teachers in high school. Don't recommend it, but thank you, liberal conservative. Threw some laughing emojis in there. Let's hope this fight isn't a bitch pussy cunts. That's all I got for you. I'm no talent in the beatboxing realm, but I do like some videos out there. There's some videos like daughter and her dad. Of course, my dad's on now. Right, I ordered protein powder with your Amazon link. Got a great price. Thank you for that. Basically, Lob Dad. He's at the gym watching me. Make sure you're working out hard, Dad. Get off the stream and get back to the bench press. Anyway, he threw me a nice lob, and it is the Amazon link in the description of all my videos. Check out the Amazon link. It helps support the channel, and you just do all of your regular shopping after you click on my Amazon link, but I get a small percentage, and it doesn't cost you $1 more than everything that you're going to buy on Amazon. Anyway, it's the exact same price, but I get a fractional percentage of it, and it helps out the stream if you guys don't want to donate through my PayPal link or buy my instructionals or anything else. So thank you so much for that, Dad, and make sure you're working out hard there. My dad's been watching these Jay Cutler videos, and he's a famous bodybuilder, and it gets you really pumped up and brings you the motivation when you're about to work out in the gym. Jay Cutler was an amazing bodybuilder for sure. One of the all-time greats. All right, Islam Makhachev here in the red trunks. Walks out first, makes his way to the octagon. You see Khabib in his sandals, speaking to Islam before the fight. Islam looking calm, cool, and collected. And I wonder if Islam is nervous at all or feels that heavy pressure because he's got a lot of supporters in Abu Dhabi. I know Khabib said that he felt a lot of pressure when he was fighting in Abu Dhabi, as a lot of his fan base is out there in that region of the world. All right, they're doing the light show for Charles Oliveira. I'm excited. I can't wait for the fight to happen, and should be a really, really good one. I wonder if the viewership will pop up as the fight starts to happen. I don't know what you're saying, my friend. Thank you for commenting. I'm going to look up what that means on Google right now, see if I could respond. It means chopsticks. Chopsticks. I'm not sure why you're saying chopsticks. Charles Oliveira stopping his walkout for some reason. Maybe like arguing with a fan or something? That was odd. I wonder why that is. Charles Oliveira giving a big hug to his wrestling coach, looking a little bit nervous. And Charles Oliveira likes to fight with a lot of chaos. So let's see if that aids him or if that hurts him in this fight. Charles Oliveira giving a hug to his team. Definitely a difficult emotional moment there. And you see all the Brazilian fighters have dyed their hair. They all bleach it. And traditionally, a lot of fighters have done this. And that's really a sign of that you're like getting serious and you're going into war mode. And something that originated in Brazil. You see a lot in jiu-jitsu competitions where Brazilians dye their hair or bleach blonde their hair, which Charles Oliveira did. Charles Oliveira has a beautiful opportunistic submission style, and he shakes hands with Islam Makhachev and shakes his corner's hands as well, which is a ballsy move, and it's also a move you got to respect. All right, the tail of the tape, Charles Oliveira 33, Islam Makhachev 31, both 5'10", both 154.5. Charles Oliveira with a 74-inch reach with Islam's 70.5-inch reach. Fascinating there that Charles Oliveira has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. That's something that I was not aware of going into this fight. That might mean something for this fight. Charles Oliveira definitely has that like long body style. Islam looking a little bit nervous. Definitely a lot of hype going into this match and probably a lot of action that will begin very early. Jason Herzog is the referee. All right. Shit is about to go down. We are about to begin the Bruce Buffer introduction here. Bruce Buffer did the introduction to one of my instructional videos known as Submission Land. A great instructional doing the highest percentage submissions in all of jiu-jitsu and grappling. Charles Oliveira using the rear naked choke many, many times in his fights as the centerpiece of his submission game, which is the number one submission I have in my Submission Land instructional, as it equates for over half of all of the submissions in UFC fights. Islam Makhachev 22-1, the minus 195 favorite. Bruce Buffer doing the wild, wild intro. They're showing Father's plan, which is that Islam will be champion. Let's see if that's what happens here. Charles Oliveira coming out the plus 165 underdog, and it's got that big fight feel of Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Bruce Buffer doing the final announcements right now. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Should be a great fight, but Charles Oliveira's fights are notoriously short. I wonder if Islam Makhachev will try to drag this out into a longer fight. Liberal conservative, yes, it is starting. They're just meeting at the final time. Touch gloves, go back to your corner. And it is about to begin right now, liberal conservative. Right now, it is about to begin. Islam Makhachev going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, in his corner. Charles Oliveira says, are you ready? Are you ready? First round beginning right now. Charles Oliveira opens up with a flying front kick and then a round kick. Charles Oliveira taking the center of the octagon. Islam Makhachev throwing a hard 1-2 to Charles Oliveira's face. Islam Makhachev coming back with some strong strikes, taking control of the center of the octagon. Charles fighting back. Strong striking from both guys. Both looking to sort of make their statement. 30 seconds into this first round, Charles Oliveira gets double underhooks, and it looks like he pulls guard here. He pulls close guard here. Very interesting. Goes for a close guard, looking for a top lock situation where you isolate one shoulder from the close guard. Looking for a triangle now on Islam Makhachev. Islam trying to shake it off. It's not super deep yet, but there's potential. And Islam does end up shaking it off. 4 minutes left here in the first round. Fascinating that Charles Oliveira decides to operate from close guard. Looks like Charles Oliveira goes for a 12-6 elbow, and the referee warns him about it. Charles working here with an overhook from the close guard now. All the dominating offense from close guards, you want to get a subtle sense of advantage, and then you want to attack from that subtle sense of advantage when you're going against a guy who knows all the traditional moves and defenses from the close guard, like an Islam Makhachev. You're not going to hit him with the standard basic day one armbar or day one triangle. He's very aware of that. So what you do is you get a position like a top lock, or you get this overwrap arm control, and you start to attack from there. Charles Oliveira opens his guard, ends up in the half guard here, and looking to start to make something happen, starts inverting from half guard, looking for a leg attack. They're back now into the standing position. Charles Oliveira hunting for the dilemmas between the leg locks in the back, and they're back in the standing position. Charles Oliveira has Islam Makhachev against the cage, and you're seeing this ability for Charles Oliveira to create such chaos in the fight. And it's very much a nature of Charles Oliveira creating chaos and Islam Makhachev trying to control the chaos. Islam goes for a beautiful Haragoshi throw and ends up on top of Charles Oliveira. Looks like Charles Oliveira has a cut too on the bridge of his nose in between his eyes here. Charles Oliveira is able to retain his guard. And it's interesting that you're seeing Islam Makhachev not really be so dominant in the guard passing. Makes you wonder if he has the ability at all to pass Charles' guard and really start to put him in the dominant mount and back control like you saw in the Aljamain Sterling fight for effectiveness on the ground, or if the ground positions will exist solely in Charles Oliveira's guard, which makes sense as he is so dangerous off his back and in a lot of ways like the superior jiu-jitsu player who has a lot of offense from this guard position. 1 minute 38 seconds left here in the first round. And so far, a very, very close fight. Maybe the judges are seeing Islam Makhachev being in top position as winning, but so far, Charles has gone for a significant amount of offense from this position as well. So kind of tricky here. Islam Makhachev has Charles' head kind of stuffed against the fence here, and it is a difficult position to turn your hips and mount offense when the spine is controlled in that way. Much better position for Islam to enact the ground and pound, which is what he's doing now, and starting to soften Charles Oliveira up. 45 seconds left here in round number 1. Oliveira looks to get an overhook again. And Islam again putting his head, Charles's head, against the octagon, making it difficult for Charles to enact his great jiu-jitsu skills and ability to move his hips and spine to get in good position. Now raining down some elbows here from the top position is Makhachev. Charles Oliveira looking to maybe, throws an up kick here. Nice up kick from Oliveira. Makhachev looking to try to pass the guard, but very, very difficult. And that concludes round number 1. I wasn't even looking at the clock. A crazy, crazy first round. Who looks the most nervous? I don't know. Hard to say. I think Islam looked a little bit more nervous, but I think that first round goes to Islam there with the dominant ground and pound from the bottom. But a wild fight so far. Let's see how this changes in the second round. Liberal Conservative says, nice commentary. Thank you so much, Liberal Conservative. I really appreciate it. If you guys would subscribe to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it, as I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Second round is about to begin. Looks like Islam keeps on saying, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And second round starting right now. Charles Oliveira takes the center of the octagon once again. No strikes thrown yet. A very different introduction to the round rather than round number 1. Charles Oliveira really taking center control. And Islam comes out with some tough strikes with a nice head kick here. Everyone's still on their feet, though. And looks like part of Charles Oliveira's strategy is once he gets a body clinch to immediately take the fight to the ground. I mean, it looked like that's what he was trying to do there in the second round here. I'm sorry, Alex. I wish I could show the fight, but unfortunately I can't. I'll get copyrighted and in trouble immediately, but I hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. 4 minutes left here in round number 2, and kind of a different pace here to this second round. Islam has double underhooks, which is a really good position for Islam, and a bad position for Charles Makhachev on the fence here. Islam has way more takedowns that he could do. Goes for an ukigoshi, also known as a power twist, from the double underhooks. Some refer to that as a modified uchimata takedown, as well as Islam has more options from the double underhooks. Charles throws some elbows, and they are back to the center of the octagon, not clinching anymore. It looks to me like Charles is starting to fade a little bit, not looking as strong, and Islam is still looking pretty strong and tough. 3 minutes left here in the second round. As I was saying, I was wondering if part of the Dagestani style here, since they seem to not mind fighting long fights, is to drag this out into a long matchup, where Charles Oliveira has had so many victories in the first and second round. And I think you're starting to see the gas tank sort of empty for Charles Oliveira here. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second round. Another nice head kick from Islam. And I wonder if Oliveira is not wanting to go to the ground again, because last time he went to the ground, his guard seemed pretty neutralized by Islam, and maybe that's changed the dynamic of the grappling. So now the fight is being fought more in the standing position. Ooh, a big hook from Islam Makhachev sits Charles Oliveira down, and Islam Makhachev in the half guard has what's known as a half katagatame, where he's in a head and arm choke from the half guard position. Oh, and Charles Oliveira taps. Islam Makhachev wins from this half guard, half katagatame attack here, and Charles Oliveira gets submitted by Islam Makhachev. Unbelievable. Unbelievable victory there for Islam Makhachev, and unexpected for Charles Oliveira to get submitted from this half katagatame. Unbelievable. I've been stuck in that before, and it is a very difficult position to get caught in. If you can master the crossface and underhook, this half katagatame from the half guard, it is a difficult position, as it is a dominating passing position, and the position is a submission in itself. So that's what Islam uses to successfully defeat Charles Oliveira. You've seen him use it before. Here they are showing the replay once again. Islam with a huge hook to Charles Oliveira's face. Charles Oliveira tries for a couple up kicks. Islam goes into his half guard, locks his hands, and you see here he puts his head on the floor, which is a common thing that you use as your placeholder for the underhook from the half guard. And then you lock up your hands in like an arm triangle type position. And it provides incredible control and submission danger as well. So great stuff there from Islam Makhachev, and a beautiful victory in the second round. And you really saw sort of Charles Oliveira's energy meter sort of go down and Islam's come up. And they embrace, and it looks like the translator is translating what each of them said. Must be a wild thing for the translator as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to my channel, and if you could please subscribe, I would absolutely love that. And thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. And big love to you all. Liberal Conservative says thanks for the commentary. Much love, respect, and appreciation. See you on UFC 281. Yes, I'll see. I commentate every single UFC card. So I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.